Oh no, I just patted my head like it was a weave, but I did.
Hey, it's Sue.
And Megan in the restricted section.
And today we're doing just a fun video. Hopefully you guys think it's fun.
Hopefully so. We're just going to talk about some kind of random unpopular opinions that we have.
Yeah, people love unpopular opinions, and these are not necessarily book related.
No, just...
And they're not necessarily like negative opinions either.
So while we do that, we're going to drink this lager with grapefruit and a hint of blood orange.
And this is from TW Pitchers Brewing Company, which I've never had before, I don't think.
Nor I.
And it says brewed and canned in Stevens Point. What is WI? Wyoming or Wisconsin? Wisconsin. Wyoming.
Just kidding.
Apparently it's from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay, let's try this.
Ooh, it's very sweet, but it tastes good.
Yes. Those are accurate things.
Yeah, it's super sweet, but it tastes like grapefruit mostly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super citrusy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's good, but whoo, was that sweet?
That is quite sweet. So my first unpopular opinion is that I do not want to have children and have taken measures to ensure that I will not have children. So I think especially in this particular geographical area that's fairly unpopular.
Yeah.
And people always look at me weird when I say that. And
yeah.
Then I get the whole like, oh, you'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll want them someday.
But who's going to take care of you when you're old? The nursing home.
Honestly,
the nursing home will take care of me when I'm old. They'll wipe my ass and everything. It'll be fine.
Honestly, that's the only thing that makes me maybe want to have kids, which is a pretty selfish reason to have kids. I'm like, I'm going to be old and lonely.
Yeah, but see, you have sisters who have kids, so you have like lots of nieces and nephews.
That's true.
And you can be like cool
Aunt Sue.
Just
gotta stay close to my nieces and nephews.
Right, yes. So there you go.
Alright, my first unpopular opinion is one that I actually posted on Twitter the other day.
Yes, you started
caused quite a tizzy.
Yeah, quite the kerfuffle.
But I prefer Pepsi to Coke. I just think Pepsi tastes better all around. And I especially love wild cherry Pepsi, but I'd still prefer a regular Pepsi to a regular Coke. When I was reading The Power of Habit, he actually mentioned the Pepsi versus Coke thing.
Really?
Because Pepsi actually wins in like blind taste tests. Pepsi always wins.
Huh.
But Coke is far more popular than Pepsi because the branding is like familiar and comfortable to people.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I like the taste of Pepsi. I always have.
I'm a ginger ale girl myself. So
not super into the ginger ale.
I'm an old woman.
I like cream soda. I love me a cream soda.
Cream soda is good. So my second unpopular opinion is that I hate dust jackets a lot. Like I remove them, and sometimes I've thrown them away before in the past. I don't do that anymore, but I used to, and I hate them. I don't like them. They get in my way. They slip and slide everywhere.
I'll say, here's a bonus one because this isn't on my list, but somewhat unpopular opinion maybe on BookTube is that I prefer paperbacks.
Oh, yeah, me too.
To hardcovers in general. I just think paperbacks are way more comfortable to read. Mm-hmm. And I don't really care about the aesthetics.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think paperback look bad, so.
I don't think they do either. I like a big floppy paperback.
Yeah.
I don't like those like tiny ones.
Yeah.
I like the big floppy ones I like.
Mm-hmm. But my next one on my list is maybe more, it probably depends on where you are, on whether you find this unpopular or not. But I'd say it's fairly unpopular around here.
Yeah.
I hate sweet tea. Ugh. I think it's disgusting. Like, I can't stand, like, normally if I, like, go to a restaurant and they bring me the wrong drink, I'd just be like, oh well.
Right.
But if it's sweet, if I ask for unsweet tea and they bring me sweet tea, no. I gotta send that shit back. Ugh. Because I cannot stand to drink it. It just tastes like sugar. It doesn't have a flavor to me. It just tastes like sugar, which is gross. Especially, like, people who are from the South are just, like, appalled that I don't like sweet tea.
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting.
It's gross. Yeah, I think you're right. In this area, I think a lot of people like sweet tea. Because I'm from Michigan, so like it's fairly common to drink unsweet tea up there.
Yeah, my mom always drank unsweet tea, which is maybe why I like it better, but my dad drank sweet tea.
Really?
But he also made us, like, wait on him hand and foot.
Oh.
And bring him tea, and so maybe I just have some, like, resentment in my heart.
This is definitely an unpopular opinion, and I get made fun of for this all the time. I hate cheese. Like, it's not just that I don't prefer it, or that, like, it's not my favorite thing. I actively hate it. I loathe it. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the texture of it. I don't eat it on anything. When I eat pizza, I take the toppings off, and then I take the cheese off, and then I put the toppings back on, and then I eat the pizza. I hate cheese. I hate it. I ran the kitchen of a county jail once, and every time I made macaroni and cheese, I made the inmates stir the cheese because I didn't want to smell it. I hate it.
My next unpopular opinion is that I like M. Night Shyamalan movies. Okay?
Okay.
Which, to be fair, I've only seen 3 that I know of. I've seen The Sixth Sense, Signs, and The Village. But I liked all of them. And I know, like, of those 3, The Village gets the most shit. People say it sucks, but I liked it. I thought it was cool.
I like The Sixth Sense.
Maybe I'm just oblivious and I don't see the twists coming.
And you're like, mind blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed all 3 of those movies. And I haven't seen others that people shit on all the time, but I don't understand why people hate M. Night Shyamalan so much. Just let the man make a shitty movie if he wants to.
Let him make a shitty movie. Also, a fairly, like, weird thing. I really don't like the Beatles. I know everyone loves the Beatles. I really don't get the hype. I don't dig the Beatles.
Yeah, I don't like hate them, but I'm not super into them. I love the Monkees.
See, I like the Monkees. Monkees are fine. I just hate the Beatles.
Yeah. This might be the most unpopular one on my list, probably.
Probably.
I don't like the 80s. Like 80s
The 80s.
pop culture and stuff. I just don't care for it. I think the fashion was terrible, the makeup was terrible, the hair was terrible. The movies were terrible. The music was terrible. I don't understand why people love the 80s so much. I mean, it's probably mostly a nostalgia thing, but I'm like, people my age, like, we were born in the late 80s.
Right.
We don't remember the 80s.
Right.
So who cares?
Yeah. I don't mind the 80s. I dig 80s music and stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I think probably a part of it is that my parents are older than most people my age's parents, so they were like teens in the 70s.
right, because you like 70s
So,
music.
yeah, I much prefer 70s music and fashion and all that.
Right.
And I think that's probably why, is because my parents were, into that, and they didn't care about the 80s stuff.
Right.
And I didn't like all these like iconic 80s movies that people my age love. I didn't watch any of those as a kid for the most part. And it's kind of one of those things where, like, I'm not going to enjoy it now.
Right, because you kind of missed out on that, like, quintessential age to...
Yeah, because, like, everyone's always like, oh, you haven't seen The Goonies? You gotta watch The Goonies. And I'm like, I still haven't watched it. Mm-hmm. But I can guarantee you that I'm never going to love The Goonies. Because I'm a 30-year-old woman, and I'm not going to enjoy The Goonies the same way you did when you were, like, 12. Yeah.
Or whatever. That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Small, like, little secret. I don't really like the Goonies.
Really?
No.
There's a more unpopular opinion, bonus unpopular opinion.
Bonus unpopular opinion.
Fuck the Goonies. I'd actually never even heard of the Goonies until I was like 19.
Really?
And someone mentioned it, and I was like, what's the Goonies?
What the fuck is
And
that?
they almost had like an aneurysm. I was like,
I don't know. Here's a fairly tame, unpopular opinion. I much prefer diet soda to regular soda. I really don't have much of a sweet tooth, so regular soda is just too sweet for me, and I like diet soda because it doesn't quite taste as sweet and it's a little crisper, more crisp.
see, I hate diet soda because it just tastes really weird to me. Like, it has a weird, bitter, gross, like that artificial sugar.
The fake
has
sweeteners.
like a gross fake taste.
If I drink too much of it, like, it makes my mouth feel weird. And I get, like, a weird aspartame headache. Which I'm sure is not
I like
good.
to drink Zevia, which still has a little bit of that, because it has stevia, which is like a natural sweetener. But it still has like a little bit of a weird bitter flavor. There's like a mosquito about to go into your
Well, he was like hanging out on top of it, like he thinks it's for him. Blood orange doesn't have blood in it, mosquito. He did.
But Zevia to me tastes better than diet soda. So if I want to like be healthier and not drink regular soda, I drink Zevia.
I'm gonna have to try that because like I started drinking diet soda out of necessity because I was having a lot of blood sugar issues when I was younger, like a teenager. And so if I would drink regular soda, it made me like really fucking sick. And so I started to drink diet soda, and then I think I just developed a taste for it. Because like a 10 or 12-year-old Megan loved Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah. Well, I like Diet Mountain Dew. That's like the only diet soda I think that tastes good is Diet Mountain Dew.
Ugh, see, even Diet Mountain Dew is way too sweet for me.
Really?
That's
probably why I think it tastes good is because it's sweeter.
Ooh. I don't have much of a sweet tooth at all. Bonus unpopular opinion, I don't like milk chocolate because it's too sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I like dark chocolate, but I don't really care
like
too much
both.
for milk chocolate unless it's got other stuff like mixed into it.
Yeah. Yeah, Zevia I really like their cream soda. And they have like their fruity ones like grape and strawberry and stuff. They're really good.
I might have to taste those and get a opinion.
Yep. Okay, my next unpopular opinion, which is probably mostly just unpopular on BookTube because people like treat their books like they're precious heirlooms or something. But I love dog earring pages. I used to do it all the time when I was younger, like when I was a kid, teenager, whatever. I would always just dog ear pages instead of using a bookmark. Recently, I think because BookTube freaks the fuck out if you dog ear page or damage your book in any way, I kind of stopped and was using bookmarks. And also I got a bunch of bookmarks from a book depository and blah, blah, blah. But I recently rediscovered the joy of dog earing pages and not having to worry about where your bookmark is or finding your bookmark or whatever. Just done.
Done, son. Page marked.
It's great. And I mean, I wouldn't do that to books I borrowed.
Right.
But my own books, I don't give a fuck.
Dog ear that bitch. Bend that right over.
Yeah.
Bend that corner right over.
Bend that right over.
Yep.
Doggy style.
Keeping it clean. I dog ear pages too. Because I used to like try to use bookmarks, but I'm really bad about keeping one handy, like when I'm actually reading. So I would end up just using like random shit that I found laying around, like a pen or a tissue.
I'm also bad about like when I, pick up my book and take the bookmark out to read. I'll just like toss it somewhere beside me, and then when I kind of put my book away, I'm like, where the fuck is my bookmark?
Some bullshit. Since it's summertime, and I think a lot of areas are having these occur right now.
Isn't ours right now?
It is right now, which is kind of what made me think of it. I hate the fair. I hate the fair. It's hot, it's crowded, and there's always like a shit ton of kids, dirty, yelling little kids all over the place. And I don't like it. I don't like the rides because...
Oh, I hate fair rides. They terrify me.
Nope.
I like that thing's gonna fall apart any minute.
You're so cute. The first year I moved here, I went to the fair, like the first summer I was here, and I witnessed the most disgusting thing. Like, it was one of those rides where there's like the little things, the little cabins that you sit in, and they're on the end of a little stick. And the stick rotates, and so do the cabins. So it's like this.
Yeah, I went on one of those. The only time I've ever ridden a fair ride. Well, no, I rode one of the ones that was like on the ground because those are like less terrifying.
Right.
But Whitney made me get on one like that, and I was screaming like bloody murder the entire time because I was terrified.
It's awful. There was a young lady. Yeah, she was in like a. I felt really bad for her. She was in like a short denim skirt, and she was up there, and she totally threw up. And I felt even worse for the gentleman on the ground standing next to me who got hit with her vomit. And then she got off the ride, and she had puke all over her legs. And this guy was like, I just saw him like rip off his shirt, and he had like a wife beater under it because she had puked all over this random stranger on the ground.
That's awful.
I hate the fair. Fuck the fair.
I don't mind the fair otherwise. My favorite thing about the fair is like the cool vendors and stuff. And the food. I like fair food.
I love elephant ears. They don't have them here.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I think it's like a funnel cake. We have funnel cakes here.
Yeah, and that's similar. And they're both fried dough, but the elephant ear isn't like the stringy things like a funnel cake. It's like a giant flat, like, thing. It's like this big of fried dough, and you can get it with any toppings on it that you want. So you can get like cinnamon on it, which is how I like mine, or you can get like strawberries on it, or whatever the fuck.
That does sound pretty good.
It's delightful. I miss elephant ears. I love them.
Well, on a similar note, my next one is that I really hate amusement parks, in just all of them, really. For a lot of the same reasons. It's usually hot. I mean, I guess you can go in colder months, but then it's cold, and that's awful too.
It's terrible.
You gotta wait in line for fucking years just to do anything. There's a bunch of screaming, half the time crying kids everywhere because they're tired, and I'm like, why? And people like, why would you bring your kid to an amusement park who's like 2 years old?
What are they
They're
gonna
not
do
gonna
there?
fucking remember any of it. They can hardly ride any of the rides, if
They're
any.
just gonna cry the whole time.
Yeah, like, why would you bring a child that small to an amusement park? I don't know. And the same with, like, I was at the San Diego Zoo. There's people with their, like, infants. Like, putting their infants up and taking pictures of them with the gorillas and shit. And I'm like, they don't even know what's going on.
They don't care.
Like, move your baby so I can see a fucking gorilla.
I want to see the gorillas.
That's probably the main thing. Like, I don't want to be a kid hater, but like, if there was like an adult amusement park, adults only, that would be heaven. That'd be fantastic.
Because that was the only part of my Disney experience that I did not enjoy, was all the goddamn kids.
Yeah.
Which I realize it's Disney, there's going to be kids, but like, if maybe they had a grown-up day at Disney and made all the kids leave.
Yeah. I've never been to Disney, but I've been to Universal. And I mean, Hogwarts was cool and stuff, but there was just too many people, and I was like, and everything's so overpriced. It's ridiculous, and I'm just like, this is a scam.
It's a scam. Scam.
Yeah. So I could probably go the rest of my life never going to another amusement park ever again and be fine.
I didn't realize exactly how unpopular this opinion was until we were talking about it earlier. But I do not care for the Sound of Music. I don't like it.
Can't even look at you right now.
I usually don't care for musicals. It's not my favorite Julie Andrews, because my favorite Julie Andrews is Mary Poppins. I like the song Edelweiss, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like blonde Julie Andrews.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I've seen Mary Poppins.
She had a darker brown hair.
Okay.
Poppins. And yeah, I don't dig it. I don't like why y'all singing. Calm down.
I love musicals. And that might be a slightly unpopular opinion, but I generally love musicals. I don't like, this is probably an unpopular opinion too, and I've never seen it live, I've only seen the movie version, but I do not like Mamma Mia.
Never seen it because I'm just not interested.
Yeah, but mostly I really like musicals. So for my last unpopular opinion, because it seems like people go fucking crazy for this shit.
Bullshit.
But I don't care for sushi. I don't like really dislike it, but I would rather eat almost anything else, usually.
I don't hate it, I just never want to eat it.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I mean, when I do eat it, I'm like, oh, the first like 1 or 2 pieces are really good, and then it starts to almost make me feel sick. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
I know people that sit there and just eat like only sushi for their whole meal. I'm like, ugh, how do you do that? I don't know. It just grosses me out.
No, I don't like the texture, and I don't like seaweed.
I don't know, it's weird because like usually the first couple pieces I have, I'm like, this is really good. And then I'm just over it.
Done. No more sushi. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Like,
yeah. Is this gonna start an uproar?
Is this gonna be some controversial shit?
I'm gonna unsubscribe now.
You can. I mean, some people are really fucking passionate about cheese.
That's true.
They get real weird when I'm like, I don't like cheese. I sometimes lie and say I'm allergic.
Yeah, and this Radler, I like it more the more I drink it. Like, I get kind of like acclimated to the sweetness, I guess.
But yeah, it is really sweet.
But it tastes really good.
It does.
Yeah,
it's
so
very refreshing.
Lager with grapefruit, is that what it's called? Is that the name of it?
It says Radler, but yeah, it says lager with grapefruit and a hint of blood orange.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If you're like not super into beer,
this might be a good stepping stone for you.
So there'll be some links below where you can find us other places on the internet.
And if you're not already subscribed to the restricted section, and if we have not deeply offended you with our unpopular opinions, please subscribe.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.